they're a beater. What if you don't know what it is, right? And if you don't have spiritual discernment or
Awareness.
discernment at all, right? Like you don't really know who somebody is at their core and what they're capable of. And so when you start doing things like that, and especially if you mess with say a divine pair, right? And you draw people apart that were intended, that the Most High
And
had,
that's
say,
personal gain. It's the first law of witchcraft. You don't use it. I mean, they said it in Charmed all the time. You don't use this
one of the
stuff for
things you
personal
don't.
gain.
Yeah, and you don't one of the very first rules too of witchcraft is you don't send or don't use the craft against another that uses the craft, right? Like we don't do that against our own kind, especially.
That too.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah, this is an intriguing chat because you've got some serious knowledge about this, and you're the first one I've had on that. You know, and as I say, I've got a vast array of stuff. I work with the shadow, trauma based subconscious mind
Yeah.
programming, motivating and
Hmm.
helping people get back on track from where they are because I've done it. Okay, I'm not
Yes.
perfect, but I'm well ahead of a lot of people. But it's
Hmm.
intriguing to having. I mean, I love all this stuff, but I won't go and have.
Me
I
too.
mean,
I
no,
love
I'm not saying I didn't have a go and have a séance when I was younger. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was bloody cool. I'm going to have a séance, right?
it.
But
Hmm.
to understand the basic universe, I think if you've got an understanding of the universal and spiritual laws before you actually touch
Yeah.
this stuff, what would
Yeah.
you agree with that?
Yes, definitely. Like I said, I've always had a connection to the spirit realm. And so I understand like there's certain level of respect there, but there's respect and then there's worshiping, right? And these
That's
things
ego
you're
driven, and that's
we're
ego.
not meant to worship them, right? Like these you don't put anybody above while yourself,
Yeah, that's
especially,
ego
but
driven though.
the
That's,
most
that's
high.
sort of ego driven, isn't it? Would you say?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so yeah, I've come to realize that I deal with them with utmost respect, of course, but I don't yeah, I don't make gods of them or anything like that. Like
Okay. Okay.
um
And what do you mean by that term of making people gods? What do you how
I
do you
I don't worship them and put them above the most high, right? I realize that we are all here and we all work for the most
you talk
high and
about you and sorry,
there is a creator.
I'll just clarify the God thing. Sorry to cut you off. Just to clarify the God thing, we're talking about love spells and putting the next partner on a pedestal. Is that what we were talking about there, or are you talking
Oh,
about?
no, sorry. I kind of might have
No,
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 I
no,
was
not at
talking
all.
when you work with deities and stuff like that, not to put deities above, above the most high or not to like worship deities and stuff like that. When you work with them, when you choose to work with them, yeah, you have to there's a lot that people don't realize when you work with the spirits, right? Like a lot of them could be trickster, deceitful energies, like I had mentioned before,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you gotta learn how to filter those out and how to protect yourself from things like that. Even when you work with the elements and stuff like that, and when it talks about like the fays and the fairies and stuff, like there is a lot that coincide with our realm that we just don't see. I believe that wholeheartedly. And you got to have knowledge of all these different things, like especially with the phase. It's they're tricky, right? Like they don't like to be talked about a lot and they don't like to be seen or they don't like I advise against taking a video of them if you ever see one. Yeah, there's just a lot of different things that people don't realize about things like this and
They don't
a
play.
lot
They've
of them
got
when you work with them, they will they will expect something from you in the future and you got to realize what you're getting yourself
feel like
into
giving you a
and
contract, isn't it? And like you're giving a sort of a
yeah,
contract of some sort. Oh, I mean,
yeah.
it's someone like what's the fairy tale? Oh, Rumpelstiltskin. You have a look at Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah.
He goes, "I'll give you everything, but you need to give me something back." That's the universal law of giving and receiving, ladies and gentlemen. But
Yes.
then we add in the universal law of interfere of you don't use the law of interference or non-interference
Hmm.
and acceptance. And as I said, the one that Aaron Doherty keeps telling me that I go blank on, that we have issues with. So you got to apply those universal laws when you do things. You can't force upon someone what you want, but obviously you have to look within yourself as well. And would you say like people chasing their true love for whatever reason? Would you say look into yourself first?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Like, I don't believe like the whole like finding your other half kind of thing, right? You should be whole on your own. And I believe like partnership is a team. And until you're fully healed, I don't think you would be able to draw in the one that is right for you anyway. So you'll
Yep.
just keep on going through these lessons, right? So people
Yep.
really need to like heal themselves fully before they're in the right frequency, right? So their true intended partner can come along. And if you're sitting there feeling like, oh, I want this person so bad that you're willing to like lie or do spell work to
Well, it
keep somebody or to,
goes against it's your ego talking, isn't it?